We've been going full bore in free agency for the past couple of weeks, but the Dallas Cowboys are also preparing for an important event coming up at the end of April. Yes, the NFL 2019 draft is closing in, and while the Cowboys are without a first-round pick, big ups to Amari Cooper, they do have a second-round pick that will be crucial to get right. In that spirit, let's take a look at some mock drafts and what they see the Cowboys doing. As noted in the title of this piece, almost all the mocks have the Cowboys going defense at pick. So, we'll start with the one dissenting mock that goes offense. Wide receiver SB Nation, 58. Dallas Cowboys, Deebo Samuel, WR, South Carolina. Samuel has some skill, but the Cowboys' wide receiver room is pretty crowded at the moment. With the Randall Cobb signing, the urgency isn't there to add another wide receiver. It's true Cobb is only on a one-year deal and the Cowboys could be looking down the road at the position, but it just feels like they would go in another direction at this pick. Now that is out of the way, on to the defense. Defensive end NBC Sports Washington, 58. Dallas Cowboys, Charles Omenihu School, Texas. Position, defensive line. The Cowboys slapped the franchise tag on pass rusher DeMarcus Lawrence for a second consecutive year, and reports indicate he's not thrilled. In other words, don't be shocked if the Cowboys use their first selection in the 2019 draft on an edge rusher. Otherwise, the secondary and interior defensive line needs fixing. The Lawrence situation, the Randy Gregory suspension, the Tyrone Crawford bar fight, the failure of Taco Charlton to raise his game, all of this has led to uncertainty at the defensive end position. Omenihu, though, is a bit of a tweener. Is he a defensive tackle or a defensive end? Maybe he can play both and can show the versatility the Cowboys love in their players. Omenihu steps off the bus with a physique that says NFL defensive end, but his skill set and football acumen are still very raw. He looks like a 5 technique and lines up there, but he simply doesn't have the grit or anchor needed for that line of work. As a 4-3 end, Omenihu sets a stronger edge and has shown some potential to mix power with a get-off as a rusher. His game lacks instincts and consistency, but he's got the traits and potential to become an eventual starter if he can continue his development. Draft Wire, 58. Dallas Cowboys, Charles Omenihu, DL, Texas Rigos Rag, 58. Dallas Cowboys, Alabama edge Christian Miller. With the DeMarcus Lawrence situation in flux, the Dallas Cowboys could do well to add some depth at the edge rusher position in the NFL draft. Alabama's Christian Miller might never become a full-time starter. He's a bit undersized, and he lacks the athletic traits that most starters possess. But that said, he has a workmanlike approach to his role, and he's shown flashes of modest bend on tape. Miller is an insurance pick for the Cowboys, one who could be provided a starting opportunity if negotiations with Lawrence sour. John Owning certainly approves. Drafting Christian Miller at 58 would give me, trading for Amari Cooper, levels of excitement. Good luck talking me off that ledge by late April. John Owning, at John Owning, March 8, 2019. Defensive tackle Fantasy Pros, 58. Dallas Cowboys, Jerry Tillery, DT, Notre Dame. He may go higher than this after his glowing reports from the Combine, but the Cowboys likely have it narrowed down to him and Draymond Jones here. They have to replace David Irving, and Tillery is the perfect fit to walk right into his role, as his 6'6", 295-pound frame is nearly identical to the 6'7", 291-pound frame of Irving, only Tillery is more talented. The signing of Christian Covington in free agency certainly didn't take defensive tackle out of play for the Cowboys in the draft. After the Rams ran wild through the middle of the Cowboys' defense in the playoffs, and with the departure of David Irving, beefing up the middle of the line is certainly a smart play. CBS Sports, Ryan Wilson, 26, 58, Cowboys Dexter Lawrence, DT, Clemson at 340 pounds. There are questions about whether Lawrence is a three-down player. But don't be fooled by his size because his athleticism is eye-popping. Cowboys have traditionally shied away from players this large in the middle. They tend to like them smaller, but Lawrence's athleticism could make him an exception. CBS Sports' Chris Trapasso, Colin Saunders, DT, Western Illinois. Saunders brings major one-gapping talent on the inside to Dallas defense, exactly what it needs. Safety draft tech, Nasir Adderley, Delaware. The Cowboys would likely be pretty happy if this happened. Many places have Adderley as a first-round pick or early second at the latest, if he dropped to. CBS Sports' Jonathan Abram, Mississippi State. Abram is a thumper and tone setter in the middle of the defense. Abram has been talked about in conjunction with the Cowboys for a while heading into the draft. He could be the strong safety of their future. Stripe Hype, 58. Dallas Cowboys, Jonathan Abram, South Mississippi Street. So BTB, who you got it?